right. Have to admit it looks good, right? Kind of ballparking where it's gonna where it's gonna go. Okay, we'll take off on the right side of the runway. So I've been working on this.
Landing gear.
Yep, landing gear. Fix that. And let's get the flaps down. So I've been working with this sim. Spent about an hour and a half or so sitting here just trying to. Hey Lucas, hey Ken. How you doing, Ken? Spent still got those messages popping up. I spent an hour and a half sitting here just trying to work on this thing, trying to make it to where I could do similar things to how I used to do it, well, how I did it in both prepared and X-Plane. So my views, notice, they actually kind of work, some of them. Yeah, you taking care? Everything okay, Ken? And reading the forums. Lucas, I don't know if you've been reading the forums or not, but a lot of people are really getting, I'm not saying they're getting really down on the nav systems yet. I think they're sort of, it's what it, it is what it is. And so it's yeah, so I got my views working. I've got my none of my SciTech panels work at all yet, and I'm looking at solutions there. But my throttles work. They're a little bit flaky. Gotta be careful because they toggle reverse mode without making a sound about it, so I've got a switch assigned to that. But they work, right? Look. And oops, that's backwards, so I've got to fix that. Hold on. Let's go here, controls, and let's see, so flight sim, nope, throttle quadrant, the citation profile, and assigned, I guess it's flight control secondary and reverse axis. Alright, so that should fix that. Go back, and resume. Okay, there we go. Now, so I got the speed brake working, I've got the flaps working. The flaps are, the indicator is here. I don't know where the control is in the cockpit. I know nothing about flying a Sovereign. You couldn't get your trim. Now I got the trim wheel to work here. Let me show you here. let's see. So controls, and this is on my yoke. I don't know if you've got the same kind of setup as me, but flight control surfaces. This is a secondary flight control. No, control trimming surfaces. Elevator trim down, nose down, and I've got that assigned to buttons on my yoke. So, yeah. So I don't know if you've got an actual trim wheel, that's another matter. I don't know how to make a trim wheel work, but you can assign the trim. So let me go back. So now, there's the trim indicator there. I may have to go back to 4K streaming because this is really... And I'm learning where the junk is. Okay, so speed brakes. Look, speed brakes got that little thing right there. And see, it's moving up and down. So, so that works. So I've got takeoff flap set. Oh, Citation trim wheel. Citation, I don't know. Citations, they're not doing so hot. And I don't know exactly what it does. If I click this button for my view, it has two views. If you notice, that may be what that may be, possibly, is it may be it's toggling between. It's got several fields of view, and if that's what it is, that's actually kind of cool. But let's go over here. I don't know what that is. I really don't. Citation trim wheel. I've got a Citation trim wheel too, but it's on one of those panels. It's not on. It's not the one that sits over there next to your throttle. So I'm a little frustrated by that, and I'm really a little frustrated. I mean, I'm learning. You know, there are ways to make this thing work. You know, how to control how fast it zooms, for example, is a big one, and I'm still trying to find a good solution for zooming. The default is like X-Plane, it's the mouse wheel, which is really frustrating. I don't mind the zooming with the mouse wheel, but I want it to be with like a control mouse wheel, because sometimes I'm turning a knob, right? We'll turn knobs, adjust map zoom. Oh, look at that. Well, that must be this map zoom. It is. Okay. That's kind of cool. PFD, that's in up. That works. Cancel, clear, remove. I don't know what that does. But there's a lot of people talking about how you really can't. Is the bus tie supposed to be closed? Why is that yellow? Set button. See, I don't know whether that's supposed to. See, it seems happier there. But that's where it was when I started the airplane, so. What else did I get figured out? This kind of mostly works. Let's see, VNav is set, Flitch. So, you know, they've got some pluses and minuses in here. So let's take off. Let's take off. I mean, I've got my flaps are set. How much fuel do I got? Where is my fuel quantity? What told me to take off? I don't know how much fuel I got. Total gallons. Honestly, that's gallons. So that's, well, that'll get us around for a while. 404 gallons. Now the rotation speed of this thing has got to be monstrous, because watch the oh, let's see, do I have the brake off? See, I don't know what the space bar does either. Okay, so that works. All right, so let's do this. It's got to be, rotation speed's got to be like 120 or something. There's a lot to learn. Look, I'm still in the white. Okay, I'm going to say rotate. I don't know what the rotation speed. I just stole this jet. Gear up. Oops, wrong thing. Gear up.
Landing gear. Landing gear.
Yes, I know.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
And let's go flaps up.
Landing gear.
I also don't know how to engage the toga. See, you said toga. It doesn't really... Oh, there it is. The flight director right there. Alright, and we're about to speed, so let me power back. And let's set our altitude to 4,000. So I notice... altitudes only go up by thousands. So this, I mean, this has potential to be a great sim, but boy, it needs a lot of work. But I got my trim working, you can see that. I'm not quite hands-free there. There we go, about like that. Yeah, I'm sitting here talking to you guys. My son came up and I put myself on mute, and you guys haven't heard a word I said. So Ken, what did you fly in? That's what I asked a while back. What did you fly um, in from Friday Harbor to Seattle? I'm not so sure I like that up there. I'd like it to be hidden until I mouse up there. This doesn't work, the HUD control, which is alright. I don't know that I need a friggin' HUD control. $172. Yeah. How was the plane? Was it good? Was it easy to get set up and all, or did you? I've been finding setting this stuff up can be a real challenge. Yeah, FS 2020. I mean, did you find getting the flight and doing the flight with your yoke? Did you get it all worked out so far? Views having trouble. Yeah. Well, I mean, just this took me, I would say, about an hour to get that. You know, they need to. You know, someone was commenting, you know, and I'm not saying this in a bad way, but that they've spent a lot of extra time trying to make this fun for Xbox flyers. I don't blame them for that per se. Might be a smart move because of the income. But you know, so I find that they've got all these presets in here, but they do have some ways to work around it. Like for example, I had a real problem with the zoom. I would zoom in and it would zoom like this, and now I've got it slower like that. And you can set that in the options. So I actually want to make it slower than that, so I will do that. Hi Andy, how are you? But I've got my views working, so that's a step in the right direction. I've got my yoke working. I've got a knob that'll work for my gear handle. I've got a switch that'll work for my flaps. I don't have my autopilot disconnect mapped yet, but you know, I mean, those are the basic essentials for if I'm just gonna fly VFR. And then for what I've been hearing about the nav systems, we were actually talking on a forum and talking about you're probably better off filing your flight plan as a slant alpha, which is you've got a VOR with DME. Tampa Bay Executive. Co-pilot's got the better view. Yeah, it's pretty remarkable. I mean, the views are just, you know, it makes it worth it. Just the views. Though you know, some people were saying that the turbulence that they were experiencing was pretty realistic. Apart from this sort of wobbling of the airplane like this, I don't see anything that's very realistic. I flew into 2 thunderstorms last night, and in the TBM, and I was flying pretty much hands-free. So that's completely unrealistic. They do not have air movement in clouds. So by far the more realistic sim right now is X-Plane. It's not the best looking anymore, but it's the most realistic. But you know, this is a 1.0. Let's see what happens with 1.1, 1.2. But the one thing that this sim brings is the end of what I used to call the eternal cloudy day. You know, it never looked like daytime. It always looked like there was overcast. It was never bright enough, no matter what I did. And now I don't have to do anything. That looks like daytime. And speaking of daytime, let's take a quick look at nighttime. I flew down I don't know if you guys were on last night when I was flying down in South America, but the night lighting down there was unbelievable. That looks realistic. Kinda. This guy's on fire. Let's fly like this for a little bit. Okay, so where's the city? This is St. Pete Airport. So that means we're going to be flying right over Tampa, right? Now, Tampa's going to be on our left, which means Tampa City is over there. Yeah. Well, maybe I can help you. Lucas helped me. I was seeing this too. I was flying the Cessna 152 and it stayed in the position. I left the yoke, like you even not have to trim. Yeah. Yeah. You know, I do have to trim. But, okay, so there's the airport right there. There's Tampa Airport. So, you know, it's a default airport. You can't fault it too much. So they kind of got the highways lit up right now. Should we turn left and go see what the city looks like? That's pretty sensitive. I mean, honestly, for me, this just sort of might have to be the way it is for a while. And, you know, I'll learn how to land this Sovereign at some point. Might take a crack at it tonight. If approach speed is 149, whoa. I will. I'll fly here past the city, then we'll head south to Sarasota. Yeah, it's frustrating. You know, I always get a little angry and frustrated when I get something new because there's the learning curve, right? But to be, let's adjust the lights a little bit more. We might be in the teenage years here. Let's go. I like the dusk, but I think the lights really start to look good when it gets dark. So that's dark right there. So, pretty realistic, I think. Pretty realistic. And there's downtown right there. Okay, so now we're going to pause again. Okay, not as long this time. I lived there for 2 years. You did? Wow. And you moved? Why did you move? A job? I think if I moved to Sarasota, I would never move. In 92 and 93. This looks really friggin' beautiful. Let me go over there so you can see. And this is running ultra settings in 2K. And I'm streaming at 2K, at least I should be. So you should be seeing pretty much exactly what I'm seeing. To me, it's kind of a little fuzzy, blurry, the lights. Still, it looks really good. I did notice one thing. It's already a money scam. One new airport, and you can't the 182 now. Well, you can't get the 182? Yeah, they've got a 172 is all they got. But then, they got the SR22. I think they got an SR20 and a 22. Going back in 9 years. If I could pack up and move tomorrow, I would. I probably would. So let's see what we can do here. Let's see. So what did I say? This is the MFD brightness. Is this the PFD brightness? No, that's that brightness. So I don't know where my other knobs are. This could be. I can go like this. Oh, a little too much. And this knob works. I know it does. Panel lighting. Okay, so that's that. This one doesn't work. Oh, maybe it does. Come on. Alright. That's not overly powerful. Now, if I was flying the real world, I wouldn't have that on at all. That's map zoom. Speed brake is 4%. Shouldn't be. I'll need to adjust that. Yeah, I might have to get FSUI PC too. So what controls the brightness of the PFD then? Oh. Oh, I said I was going to go to Sarasota. That is... We're kind of heading in the right direction. Let me zoom out. Figure out how to do that. Oh, no, we're not heading in the right direction. Okay, so what if we try to do a nav? Let's try to do something with the nav system. Zoom in. Alright, so toggle this, direct to okay, so let's try K S R Q. Enter. Activate. And nav. See if it turns. Alright. It's a VOR. Okay, so we gotta give it some help here. But I'm on nav mode. Okay, now we're in FMS mode. Stars. Wonder if they're accurate, right? The thing that's really amazing, it's the daytime lights, sure, but the you can fly anytime. You know, at night, flying up high in X-plane is boring. Um, you know, flying over this at night is beautiful. So, you know, I would anticipate seeing more people just flying whatever the clock says. Sometimes I fly it during the day just because I don't want to watch the blocks of lights appearing. They got so much work to do in this sim. This is going to take them years. It's just a matter of picking what they're going to try to fix first. Let's see, Lucas, I heard that the add-ons like FSU, PCX Pilot, and so on are taking a lot of FPS right now. Oh, and I discovered a way to activate the FPS marker. The FP... Oh. Alright, Lucas, fess up. Let's see what you got. Hi, Gene. What's the weather like out there? It's nice. San Diego, it's nice. Of course it's nice. We're flying over to Sarasota. We're not doing an approach to Sarasota. We're just joyriding at night. I still don't know how to adjust my PFD brightness. Oh! Wait. Well, that didn't do any good. There we go. There's two knobs there. Or something. There we go. Hot, hot. There are two ways. One with Steam if you bought the Steam, and the other way is with NVIDIA GeForce Experience. Alright. I do have GeForce Experience, but I don't know very much about how to use it other than to record a video. So that's Sarasota up there. Way up there. Yeah, it's a challenge. Oh, look at that. Talk about zoom out. I did enough to be able to get most planes into the sky at this point. I think at least I've got a Citation set up for my throttle quadrant and a general configuration done for my yoke. And I've changed the mouse zoom some. So now I've got a button on my mouse. I zoom with that instead. And I'll adjust the sensitivity later. But I may have to do my flying in 4K because I can't read this stuff unless I zoom in a little bit more. Like that may be where I actually have to do my flying is with this view, and that's not bad. That actually feels pretty good. You know, the other thing is field of view controls are very limited in this sim. Maybe mess with it a little bit later. Okay. Yeah, the field of view is weird. They use gaming terms instead of numbers. Like landing, you know, one of the zoom modes is landing, or field of view modes is landing. Well, what does that mean, right? So we're about 17, 18 miles. Let's see. There's a lot they did right, but there's so much you have to get right. All right, I'll give it a try. Alt-Z. HUD layout. There it is. And FPS counter. And I'll put it in the, there it is, 31. I'm getting 31 frames. We'll leave that up. And this is running ultra at night with clouds. So and the question really is if it does get down to low frames, you know, and I'm running a 2070 Super. I'm not running a 2080 Ti. But I've seen guys with 2080 Ti's who are not getting very good frames. So far, I haven't had a problem, and my goal was not to run ultra. It's just that I could run ultra, and I didn't have any smoothness problems, so I did. You know, so not complaining. So we did this direct to KSRQ, and what I've heard, by the way, is that I know. Stay up there. Alright, so let's go here. So we did a direct to KSRQ. Now if I go to proc and select, my mouse pointer's going nuts in here. It's not working very well. Oh, look at that. It's jumping all over the place. Okay, so he's right. You cannot select an approach. If you do a direct to, you can't select an approach. Alright, so approach. Radios. This thing keeps pausing inside this display. See, it's fine over here. I get over here on this thing and it stops right there. Got some bugs. Stabilizer, primary trim channel selected. Secondary trim off. Auto ground spoilers, disarm. Set auto ground spoilers to... Well, I would think you'd want that on. Yep, so I'm getting 30. And I'm over Sarasota. Sarasota's not the... I mean, in X-Plane, Sarasota is... Okay, I wonder if I can do a second directory and go down to Fort Myers. What do you think? Let's see. Let's go back. Back. I guess I gotta click home. Direct to. Let's go to how I did that before. There we go. What is Fort Myers? Anybody know? KRSW? KRSW. Enter. Activate. Activate. Now it still says Sarasota. Alright, hold on. Alright, so click up here again. KRSW. Enter. Fort Myers. Can't really select it, but it's there. Let's click activate. And do we gotta help it? Nav. There we go. Let's look outside. You know, that looks like a city to me. I mean, that looks like a believable city. I could try to land at KSRW without ever reading a book about this airplane or anything about how to fly it. Okay, so they've got antennas that have red lights, but they don't flash. Now, if an antenna is close to an airport, like within a mile or so, it'll be steady lights, but if it's not, then it will flash. And I think X-Plane has, at least with using Orbix, I think X-Plane has the better luck right now. Because they've got all those flashing red antennas all over the place. Yeah, it does. I don't know what the red lights here are, but you know, they look good from a distance. Not exactly sure what that is. What is that over there? Can't be that close to KSRW. Looks like a big airport of some kind, but I don't know what. I don't know. Look at those clouds. So my expectations have, it's not as ready as I thought, but it's a great start. As long as they keep working on it, I'll be okay. Guess I should shut my runway lights off, huh? My landing lights. Recognition. Anti-collision, tail flood. Pack safety doesn't work. Good luck back there. So if I do land at KSRW, it won't be with an approach unless I can figure out a way to do that. Well, I guess I could just dial it in manually, right? I could try that. Alright, so we're going to be down. You know, I should have gone to Daytona, shouldn't I? What a slacker. Fort Myers, here we go. ILS 6, what's the weather? 020 at 5, yeah, we could do an ILS to 6. One 1.5. By the way, this is full screen. Last night I was having these weird lines, and I expected because the display was crunched a little bit, and then I was reading that full screen is actually full screen window mode. So, oops. Nope. Well, fisheye view. So that's COM 1, COM 2, COM 1, COM 2. COM1, COM2. Alright. Well, I'm in FMS mode because I kind of have to be. I can go heading mode. Yeah, FS 2020 boots up really fast. I mean, for me, it boots up reasonably quick. Of course, you know, when you got those Orbix areas. So I don't know how to switch this over to Nav 1. What did I say? 111.5. 5. Alright, so that's set. And now, what is this? Oh. So it's set. Transfer. Yeah. So is the blue the active or the white? Let's just say the white is for right now. And let's try 111.8. 1118. Swap. All right, and how do you control the PFD? Bearing. Turn bearing 2 on. K, oh, that's KRSW. Okay, so blue is, or white is active. So 111.5, and wow, you got to control this whole thing here. Settings, AOA wind, wind option 2. Okay, let's go home. Timers, speed bugs. Okay, so the approach is 149. Let's go back. F1. Alright, and then now what? Minimums. What is my minimums? 227. So we'll put in 230. Enter. So you can put minimums in. Well, it's blank. It's there. Oh. Barrow. Enter. There it is. Minimums are there. I suppose. Geez, I don't know. I think I've got real-time weather on. Which means altimeter 2990. Not that that matters a whole lot. Alright, so that's set. Now, let's try. Let's go back. Let's go to flight plan. And destination. Let's try KRSW and enter. Alright, and that's done, so let's go back and let's try to go to proc and let's try the approach. Okay, so approach ILS to 6, transition tropic, that's fine, I'll just take whatever I can get. Do a load and activate. Load and activate. Load. Did it do anything? Let's just zoom. There's Dolphin, which is on the approach. Alright, so let's go back, and let's do a direct to okay, so I can't really select anything in my flight plan. Well, let's go to flight plan. Map settings, proc, there's flight plan. Now it's origin. It's made the origin KSRW, so let's add destination. KRSW. Alright, approaches ILS 6. So if I scroll down, there's Dolphin. I can go, let's see, so I better 1,500 feet. So I gotta get busy. Oh, but I can't go down to 1,500 feet because of their so I can go down to 2,000. Alright, we're good. And let's do a VS. We'll go down 1,000 feet per minute. And power back a little. And we're going in the wrong direction. Where does this thing think it's going? So how about heading mode? Oh, there's the Big Dipper, right there. I don't know what it, you mean this little display down here is a 550? This is a Garmin 3000 unit. And I don't know what that particular unit is of the Garmin 3000. But it needs a lot of work. So, let's see, I'm in heading mode now if I did it. Let's see. So, let's make a right turn. Let's see what that does. Next, I want to go a little further. There's no compass around the airplane, so alright, and let's slow it. You can slow us up a little bit more. I don't know what the flap speeds of this airplane. There was in the TBM there was a speeds chart. What is that right there? Flap extended 250, 230. Gear 230. Depressurize before landing. Okay. But there's no way to descend to 1,500 feet. That should be an easy fix. How are we doing? Okay, so airport's way over there. This is alright. I would have probably done this anyway, to be honest. We will go to nav 1 and see, I've got nav 2 on both sides, so let's go ADF, nav1, IRSW, so we're identified. Notice when you're setting up, pushing buttons, your plane started turning, think it deactivated your auto. It did something weird. You know, that happens sometimes in X-Plane, occasionally. You know, but, it's, you know, you just take control. That's all you do. You know. I don't think this is a very good display. This is really low res. And I think, you know, I'm not sure. I'll have to look to see how big these things are really in the real plane once I actually do that. So let's see. So we're going there, timers, speed bugs, and let's say enter. See, this is all on. Okay, so actually I don't need VR on. I need the approach. I guess I could use VY. So I assume you use flaps 1 for approach. Let's see, what does that say? Gear. Flaps extended. Okay, so I don't know what all that means. How are we doing? I might turn the lights on to like turn the outside lights on. I don't mean these lights really per se. Curious, if I turn the taxi lights on, what are they doing? Pointing at the airplane? External. They got a bug there, don't they? They look like they're pointed in the wrong direction, and the airplane thinks that they're pointing into the cockpit. Alright, so we can shut that off. How are we doing? 177. Oh! Heading. Very sensitive. I want to intercept well outside of Dolphin because I'm at 2,000 feet instead of 1,500 feet. Let's go a little bit more. And Lord. That's alright. And let's turn the outside world on. I'm not used to flying this airplane. I'm not gonna... Of course, it would be interesting to fly at night, or land at night, but I'll do that next time. Besides, that looks good, doesn't it? Yeah, some goofy stuff with these switches. So we will see how this thing holds an ILS. This is what me and somebody were talking about the other day. Can it do a better job of holding an ILS than Prepared can? Prepared cannot. It cannot. It holds an ILS like it's like a wet sack. I mean, it's just not very good. Which is one reason I've switched to X-Plane, because it does. God, that looks good. That's what's going to keep people coming back, is that view, right, that kind of a view right there. And it's all over the world. You guys, I mean, last night's video was 3 hours long. About, I think it's a little over halfway through it. There's some flying I did around, down around where Lucas lives. And it was stunning. Actually, yeah, I mean, that area, and then I went down to Rio. See, and also the heading defaults to 10 degrees. You know, but a controller will sometimes give you a 5 degrees. So it'll tell you turn left heading 055 or something like that. All right. So that's got to be fixed. These are small things though. Alt's got to be fixed. Let's see, I never set my course, so it did it on its own. So I'll take that. I assume that's the right course. 058, yep. All right, so how are we doing? Okay, so left turn. Carefully. All right, let's get the, oops, wrong thing, flaps.
Landing gear. Landing.
Yeah, I'll get the gear down.
Gear. Landing gear.
One notch of flaps in it once the gear down. Okay. And let's click approach. And approach speed is 149. Right there where that little tag is. Good night, Ken. Take care. All right. So the airport is... Okay, here comes the localizer. Let's see if it intercepts. It does. And the glide slope is coming down. I've already got the gear down, so I'm okay there. My AOA is quite high. You know, and I'll just go ahead and put the full flaps on when I hit the glide slope. There's no marker in the middle of the glide slope. That sucks. All right, glide slope still waiting. Oh, there we go. It's trying. Let's put the full flaps on, see what it does. Airport's in the right spot. I'll let it do the work. All right. So it's behaving as if it's got some moving air. You saw the house. I imagine there's going to be a lot of folks doing that. So I've got speed brakes, I've got spoilers. The auto spoilers are set to norm. I don't know how to do an instant replay. I don't know if you can do an instant replay. I'm going to sync up my heading bug. Sometimes you have to click things twice. You should fly over your house and then put it on autopilot and step outside and wave. Of course, then you know, and see if, well, I don't know. Oh, and to kill my autopilot, I've got to click what? Where's the? There it is. All right, gonna kill that. So it did okay. Now my frame rate has gone in the gutter. And the airplane is floating and floating and floating and floating. 11 frames. Look at that, the 20 knot speed limit is exceeded. I don't see anything that says I've got reversers on. So GA is on the right. Flaps up. I don't know where pitot heat is. Oh, there. Engine. See how it taxis. I haven't taxied very much because I always end up starting out by the runway. Yeah, I need to get more nose wheel authority here. That's pegged right there. This is Fort Myer. I can't really, yeah, see now I can see it. So I'm either going to have to go to 4K, but 11 frames is what I had when I was landing. So I'll have to consider that. Thank you, Andy. I'm not sure it was quite butter, but if it was butter, it was because I was doing a lot of floating. The taxi speed limit on a taxiway is 30, not 20. It's 10 on a ramp. Wait, is that GA over there? Did I get this airport backwards? Okay, well, I'll cut across. Alright, we'll just cut across right here. I see something. Yeah, there's a truck. 3 trucks on the runway. Maybe, oh, yeah, they're going to need to be on the runway. I'm going to go off on the... Taxiway lights look good. Wow, they're having a little convention out there. At least margarine, right? You know, for default, this is, you know, FSX was uh, legendary in terms of how crappy its airports were. Look at this. I don't know what they're doing. And this is better. But I got to get to... I guess the big thing was, okay, it's possible to do an ILS. It does fly it pretty good. It, you know, on autopilot. And the frame rate can go in the gutter when you're landing. So I may have to back off my settings. At least for now. Because 11's just not going to cut it. But I mean, this to me is like a whole other generation. Yeah, I'll probably just park here. I don't even know how to shut this thing down, to be honest. But I just wanted to go up and try out the... Yeah, see, I need much more rudder authority. This thing does not want to turn. But that's, I mean, maybe it's a detail. The FSUIPC may save, you know, everybody. May save a lot. Though I will say, they've got to fix these nav systems. Unless they want all of these airplanes to all have to develop their own nav systems, which means you won't see really good airplanes for a long time. You know, I mean, we'll go back to the old paradigm. Now, see, let's see what this bus does. I think there's a rule that says road traffic has to give way to airplanes. I probably clipped my wing. I will say that the taxiing seems okay. But I should have better rudder authority than that. Let me take a look at something. So go to controls and let's go mouse, keyboard, and sensitivity. Maybe I can crank that up like that. Oh, it's got a dead zone. Don't need no dead zone, man. Maybe I'll try one. And that might explain why on the throttle quadrant spoilers, cancel. Let's go sensitivity. Nope, no dead zone. I don't know why that shows 4%. So what do you think? How do you shut this thing down? Brilliant. And all right, shut that off, that off, that off, that off, that off. Interior. Norm. APU gen on. Engine that started. Oh, these are off. And how do I just shut that thing off? Can't move that. I don't know. I don't know how to shut that side off at all. There's his brightness control. Those are in up. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to shut that off. Maybe you can't. The left and right battery are off, so where's this thing getting its power from? There we go. So that's that. Anybody remember how, yeah, maybe, might try, I don't know. I gotta figure out what else we could do. Is it a phone? I wonder how you open the door. It used to be Control E, right?
Autopilot.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's the frickin' engines. There was a Shift E, I think. Let's go outside. I could have swore it was Shift E. Maybe it's just E. Door, door. Control D. I don't remember what it was. And nice looking shadow. You know, that could well, yeah, that could have also hurt my frame rates. Look at that water. Right there. Looks like it's pretty windy here. With the numpad 4, 7, and 8. 4, 7, and 8. It's not doing anything here. Oh, wait. Nope. Doesn't do it that way either. I'll assign some buttons to it. I'll assign some buttons. Well, okay, so I'm not, here I'm being a bonehead because um, drone, now I'm in drone mode, so now 4. Yeah, now you're right. So 7 rotates left, 9 rotates right, 4 goes this way, 6 goes this way, 2 goes down, 5 goes back to the center of the airplane. Now how do I go up and down? Okay, that's zoom. I may have accidentally disabled the up and down because I was farting with these controls. Okay, so that's easy to move up and down. Yeah, it was R and F last night. Oh, I started a recording. Great. Well, that's not going to work out too good. We'll finish the movie tomorrow. R to go up, F to go down. I'll have to reset those. I bet you I broke them because I was in there mucking with the controls to make them work better for me. So, yeah. But, I'm not unhappy. I think I do need to work with the frame rates when I'm landing. I've got to sort that out. I've got to work on the view when I'm landing so that I can see the displays better. But I do think they need to do some serious work on those displays. I think they're too low resolution. And yeah, yeah. So that's what I think right now. But let's just hope that they sell enough to where they keep working on this thing. And really do hope this is successful for them. So maybe we'll hear. But if Bill Gates gave them some seed money of say $50 million, which is, then maybe they'll keep going on this thing and going because this was his hobby. All right, so main menu, continue. Yeah, it'll get better. We'll find better ways to do it. Is that hasta la vista? Yeah, and the colors looks like Carnival. The colors look like Carnival. You mean the big festival they have down in Rio? I watched, they like to take cameras down to Rio for demonstrating their, 4K and 8K televisions. And I watched Carnival in 8K on a Sony TV, and it was unbelievable. I mean, I was like, wow, that is just, it was beautiful and amazing both at the same time. I mean, not just the TV, the whole color and spectacle of it. I was like, wow, man, something to see. Yeah, I know I don't know a thing. In fact, isn't Brazil in someplace in Africa? The is it western part of Africa? You know, it's pretty sure it's someplace near um, you know, um, Russia in Africa. Flight to Jamaica. I I will. Now see I've got no excuse for not flying to Jamaica. I've got the scenery. I will if I fly tomorrow, maybe we'll do a flight down from Miami down to Jamaica or somewhere around there, or maybe from Fort Myer. If I can figure out the airplane well enough, maybe we'll, do a full flight. Though I have to say, their nav systems suck in this thing. It's bad. But who knows? Maybe Coronado will come save us. We say it looks like Carnival when there are a lot of color and bright. Yep, yep. That's what you know. Of course, the Carnival. What I was watching was at nighttime, but I get it. It was bright. It was bright. You know, they should. I don't know. Maybe they'll have that on YouTube someplace. But yeah, that was in 8K, and I mean, you felt like you could walk over and shake somebody's hand if you could get them to stop dancing for a moment. All right, guys, it's good to see y'all again. I'll try to. What I'd like to be able to do is let you guys know when I'm going to be on. But in Streamlabs, which is what I use, it just basically says, "Are you on or are you not on?" What can't we do with money, right? Uh, yeah. So if I can figure out how to let you guys know I'll be on, I'll do that. But yeah, it's fun and it's pretty. Oh yeah, we do need to fly. I'll have to figure out a plane that I can fly slow for a little bit, so we can fly along the coast and see that water. I want to see if it looks good around Florida on the coast. Fly from maybe Deerfield Beach, that area there, see the piers, and you know, maybe down to Key West, real low. I guess I could fly the DA. Well, not the DA-62 because it's got those big honking engines. I'll figure something out. Anyway, guys, well, it'll be fun. You have to set up in YouTube, Greg. Yeah, I tried to do that. I used to do that. I'd set it up in YouTube, and then I try to come to Streamlabs and tell it to to connect to the flight that I'd planned, and it wouldn't. So maybe it had a bug. So I'll try it again. Try to give you a little bit of a warning before I get on. All right, guys. Good night. Good night. I don't even know what time it is. We'll have a good day tomorrow, and